while we are waiting for others to join. So this is the module here that we are going to be playing around with today. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. For the video that is going to be online, you are also going to have the link there in the reference. So I reference the link right there. Now, one thing you need to take note of here is this. Every of the learning parts that we take usually has an exercise. Okay. So if we come here and go all the way down, you're going to see exercise here. So for you to be able to take advantage of the exercise, you've got to sign in. So I'm going to sign in right here. All right. And if you do not sign in, you won't be able to launch the exercise. That's very important. And yeah, it gives me a tick against all of the ones I've done. So you can see I've done first, second, third, fourth. Okay. And if I want to launch the exercise, you want to come and click on the exercise here. It loads it and it prompts you to launch the lab. It verifies the account by prompting you to start a puzzle, and it says match this angle. So I'll match the angle by pointing the chair in the same direction as the finger, which is this. I'll submit. It gives you another one. I want to, all right, I'll submit. And it tells me my verification is complete. And okay, so it now gives me the Start Lab button. Now, if you click the Start Lab button, it's going to take you eventually, it will start the lab, and the lab is going to look like, where is it? It's going to look, where are you? It's going to look, where did I drop the lab? Just a minute, please. I had the lab. Just a minute. I think I have the lab. Yeah, that's the lab there. Okay. So that's it. It gives you an instruction on the right, and then it gives you the actual lab on the left. And in the instructions here, you can click on next, where the actual instructions are. Step by step, it gives you everything that I'm going to be talking about. I strongly encourage you to do this as a means of reinforcing what we will be discussing today. Very, very, very important. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to point out. But for me to give you enough real estate to see exactly what I'm doing, I like to take the lab instructions away to another screen since I'm using multiple screens so that it gives you a better viewer experience. So that's it. That's very important. Now, today, we will be seeing how to enhance reports. Yesterday, we created reports. I only did 1 and 2, and I allowed you to do 3. So I expect that you did this all by yourself. If you didn't, please go ahead and do it. And you're going to see that some of the things that we discussed is going to come alive. You are going to be able to do that. Now, another thing I want to demonstrate here, let me just take my instructions back in. And that is you want to sign in to the desktop. So to sign into the desktop, you want to come and click on sign in here. Now, it prompts you for an email address, and that email address is going to be in your instructions. Okay, so I'll come here and put this email address here, and I'll click on continue. Okay, so it signs me in, all right, and it prompts me to put the email address again and to put the password. So I'm signed in. Okay, I want to sign into all the apps, just that. And it takes a minute to sign me in. Okay, and once it signs me in, I'm going to demonstrate another thing because we are going to now be moving on to the Power BI service. So it says I'm signed in, and we can see after some time, you're going to see that the username here changes. Okay. Say continue. After some time, you're going to see that my username here changes. Okay, I want to sign in. Okay. All right. Now, another, what's going on? Why are you giving me all this stories? Okay. So another place we want to sign in here is we want to go to the browser. Okay. Yeah. It prompts me, it's trying to sign me into the browser. I'll go to next. And it gives me a few things. It says pick one square that shows two identical objects. I want to look for the square that shows two identical objects. That's it. It tells me my verification is complete. And that's in the fabric. Okay. So it signs me into fabric. I'll go ahead and click on continue. It prompts me to put my job title. I'll just put the job title there and the business email address, business phone number. I'll just put 555-123-4567. If it gives you that, you just go ahead and click on get started. And you will be able to get into Fabric. I'll just go ahead and continue. That's a very important step. Now it takes some time to prepare my environment. All right. Preparing the environment means it creates a trial account for me that we are going to be using. The same thing will be applicable for you. Okay. So here, I can now go ahead and publish my report to the service. Okay. So this is app.powerbi.com. This is Power BI online right here. Okay. So that's also very, very important. So those are the things you need to do to be able to take full advantage of the Microsoft Learn Lab environment. That's very, 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 very important. Okay. So what we will be discussing here is this class is going to be a bit different from the ones we've been doing. Okay. So today we are going to be looking at how to enhance reports. And for us to be able to enhance a report, there are certain things we want to be able to know. And that is, we want to know what a good report looks like and what, well, a not so good report looks like. Now, I just went to Bing and I just typed the search term, poorly designed Power BI reports. I can just drop this link in the chat and you can just go ahead and click the link. That's going to also show you classic examples of very poorly designed Power BI reports. Okay, so let's look at one. And I'm going to go into full screen. And we can see here that while apparently lots of effort have been put into this report, we still find quite a few things wrong. And I want you to go off mic. Everybody's got to contribute and tell me exactly what you think is wrong with this report. From an aesthetic point of view, from an organizational point of view, what do you think is wrong with this report? I'm going to be having to call you. Please go off mute and tell me. So, Auntie Akparawa, tell us, what's your opinion of this report?
At a glance, looking at it, it's to me number one the color. The
color.
colors are too yes closely the same. The scatter graph or what's this on
Yeah,
the
that's
left
scatter
hand?
graph. You're correct.
Yes. It's not readable at a glance.
Okay. Okay, so from a readability point of view and color point of view, you disagree with how it was designed. That's a fair point.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to ask Auntie Nkape, please. Let's hear you.
I actually agree with her. The color of the line diagram and the scatter diagram and the background color, most of it is the same, so you can't read it, and it's not attracting at all. So
Okay.
basically,
So you are talking of it from an aesthetic point of view. It's not attractive. The color is a bit too well
yeah,
the way it is. All right. Okay,
there's
fine.
no
Fair point.
contrast in the color. Yeah.
Fair point. Fair point. All right, Auntie Cornelia, can you tell us what you think about this report? Auntie Cornelia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, sir. Sorry, I was
Okay,
trying
good.
to unmute.
Okay,
Okay, basically, for me, I think the values are not, you can't see them. So we
okay,
can't even read whatever is being communicated. We can't get, the chart is too choked. The color
okay,
combinations, the contrast is poor.
okay,
So the figures are not properly shown. So at a glance, you can't gather any insight from this.
okay. Fair point. Fair point. So you talked about insights. Okay, that's from an organizational point of view. Uncle Fidel, can you help us? Just tell us what you think about this report.
Okay, good morning, everyone. From just looking at it, I can see the combined table, the combined graphs. It's a little bit clumsy, if you ask
Okay,
me. Yeah, so just on what we did yesterday,
okay,
I think it would have been a lot better if the table that shows this is it outlier. I can't see it very well. I'm not with my glasses, and the
okay,
transactional analysis tables come on another slides than all then combined and clumsy. It's a little bit clumsy, to be honest.
okay, okay. So we are all in agreement that a lot could have happened when we are dealing with these reports. Okay, so I'm going to show you something else, uh, something we might have seen yesterday, and let's just go there now. Now, this is also a report. Okay. Now, if though they are reporting different things, now what this tells us is it tries to give us a layout of what reports should look like. We can see here that whosoever, this of course was also gotten off the internet. This wasn't done by me in any way. So please, if the owner of the report sees it at any point in future, please apologies. Now, see, we see that this is clearly outlined. That means the layer is good. We see you should have a dashboard name somewhere here. And we see here it puts the KPI, total revenue, another KPI, total profit, another KPI, total orders, total customers, total quantity. Now, the KPIs are at the top. Now, what this suggests to us is this person is trying to showcase something, and that thing is really clear. KPIs. KPIs are usually, we will see you'll be using cards, visuals called cards that will just capture the essence of what you are trying to say. Okay, so most of the salient things whosoever did this report is trying to do is put at the top. You'll also see here that there's a slicer here, not very clear, but he used tiles as a slicer. So what that means is if you just go ahead and click on the year, this report is going to readjust, much like if we had to do it this way. For example, if we had to do it this way, let me just go away from here. Yeah, if we had to do it this way. Now, see, okay, if we come here, that's the overview of our report. And if I select a particular thing here, notice that my report adjusts dynamically in response to my selection. The only difference is in the report that we are trying to discuss, the person put everything here at the top, which can be also very useful. Wherever you put it, you could put it at the top, you could put it at the side. The point is, it has to be clear what that slicer is trying to do. So interacting with the slicer is going to cause the report to respond to your selection. And that can be very intuitive. Okay. So if I select all, of course, we can see that my slicer causes the report to adjust. If I select a specific country here, maybe UK, we can see that the slicer adjusts. So your layout is crucial to communicating the report. Now, whosoever made this report now put, of course, sales revenue by month as a sales performance in form of a line chart, regional performance, performance ratio, and all of that. So what are we trying to say in essence? How you design and then how you lay out your report is very, very important. And using a slicer is going to allow you to do a lot of things. For example, like we said yesterday, a slicer is a visual type. And with a slicer, you can add this to your report, allowing users to segment the report by specific values. So if I want to, for example, view my report by year, I can come here and say, okay, let's go to 2019, for example, see the report responds to my selection. If I want to view it by year and by country, for example, see my report responds immediately. And this can be very, 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 very powerful. Okay, if we go to the other report, which we also designed yesterday, we see something similar going on. Okay, if we come here and maybe click a country, we can see that even the table responds to our selections. Okay, allowing us to maybe view by specific region. Again, for performance, again, something very similar happens. We see here that we've got a multi-card visual here. So if I come and select a year, maybe 2020, we see our report responds to whatever selections that we have made. So this is very important. And we're going to be spending time seeing how we can do that. So first, we saw how to add a slicer. And today, we are looking at what slicers can help us to achieve within our reports. So why would you want to use a slicer? The first reason is slicers are going to be giving you quicker access to some of the commonly used filters. You mainly use slicers for filtering. It also makes it easier to see the current filtered state without having to do anything serious. It's just one click away. And you can filter by columns that are needed and hidden in your data tables. You can create a more focused report by putting slicers next to important values, for example. And you can defer queries to the data model by using drop downs. You can do a lot of things in slicers. Now we will see how we will be going on further to enhance this report. Okay, so that's what we are going to be doing today. We are not going to be doing too much talking. Rather, we are going to be doing a lot of demonstrations. Now, there's something I want to point out. We have a lot of slicers in this report. But if I select a given region in the overview part of the report and I come to profit, we notice that that is a different region that is selected. So if I come to overview, Canada is selected. Let's say I select France in overview and I come to profit, we see that it's a different place that I selected. If I come to my performance, if I do select maybe year in overview, this year is 2019. If we come to my performance, we see that it's a different year that I selected. The question now is, what if we could create a report in such a way that if I select something in the slicer in one part of the report, it will automatically be selected in the other part. So those are some of the things that we're going to be trying to see how we can do. We can actually synchronize the different slicers such that if I select a specific year here and I come here, that year will be selected. Or if I select a specific region here and I come here, I want that region to be selected too. So how can we do that is the question. We'll be doing that by synchronizing slicers. Okay, first of all, let's set the year to 2018. Okay, and let's go to the other report that also has year. And then, of course, we notice here that setting this one to 2018 has no effect on this one because they are not in sync. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to try to see how we can synchronize the slicer in such a way that if we click, if we select something in one slicer, we'll go ahead and have the same thing in the other slicer. So let's go to the overview page. We are in the overview page. We want to have the slicers that we want to sync selected. In this case, we want to select, I want to sync the yes slicer. So we've selected the yes slicer. We want to go to the view ribbon tab right there. And within the view ribbon tab, inside the show panes group, there is something here called sync slicers. Okay, so these are the group show panes, sync slicers. Okay, so in this case, of course, if I click on sync slicers, we can see here that a pane appears. All right. Okay, so we see a pane popping up here. So we want to ensure that we have slicers synced. Okay, so notice here that we will want to, if we want to sync overview and my performance, I just come here and click on overview, and then also come here and click on my performance, for example. Okay, all right, so let's test and see if what we have selected actually works. First, I will come now and say, let's go to year 2019. And if I come to my performance, if what we did is correct, we see 2019 is now selected. If I come here and say I want to select 2018, and I come here, we see 2018 is selected. So we have successfully synced the year slicer. Now we could do the same thing if we wanted to with the region slicer as well. So I'll select region, right? And we can see that there's no sync here. And I can come here and say I want to sync overview and profit, such that if I come here, currently Australia is selected here, and if I select Germany here, and I come here, we see Germany is selected. Okay, so that can become very, very important to make your report intuitive, because of course we have a multi-page report here. So we want whatever is being selected in one page in the report to trickle down to the other page of the report. That can be very, 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 very important. Okay, please question. It's important you understand what we've done. So if you've got a question, go ahead and ask your question. I'll just hide that sync slicers button again. So if you've got a question, please go ahead and ask. Question, please. Question. Now, if there are no questions, we are going to be talking about drill through. So what is drill through? Now, drill through is a feature that allows us to navigate through our report. Okay. Now, drill through allows us to click on a part of the page or do something in one region, in one part of our report, and then go and see the effect on a totally different page. So that can be very, very important. Now, we can use it to create a page in our report that focuses on something specific. Okay, maybe we want to, for example, let me just go ahead and select all. We want to, for example, see a scenario where if we right click or we click through a part of our page, it should take us to another aspect of our report. Sometimes these things are better actually demonstrated. So we are going to demonstrate drill through, and let's see how drill through works. Okay, so first, for us to demonstrate drill through, we want to go ahead and add the page where we are going to drill to. Okay, so we want to create a drill through page. Okay, and if we have finished our page, the page you want to drill through should look like this. Okay, we see here, if we click on drill through, it should take us to this page, focusing on an aspect that we have filtered. Here we want to draw attention to bikes. Okay, and now once we are done, we can actually click the back button here that takes us to our original page. So that's what we aim to do in this exercise. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add a new page. By the way, everything we are discussing is in the exercise. So you will do a lot. You'll do well to go ahead and try it. So let's call the page we want to add product details. For example, so that's our page there called product details. Okay. Now, we don't want this page to be visible in our report. We don't want people to navigate to it by just clicking on the tab. So we can go ahead and hide the page. To hide the page, we'll just right click the page and hide. Don't worry, you, the owner of the report, you'll always see the page. But if you are sharing this report with somebody else, the person will not see this drill through page. Okay. All right. So we have hidden the page, and that means that report users are not going to be able to go to the drill through page directly. They will only be able to access it from the visuals on other pages. And then we are going to see how we want to do that. So we see here in the visualization pane, we have what is called the drill through section. And we want to add product category fields to the drill through fields. So we'll come here. We want to add product category to the drill through field. So I'll go ahead and go to product and select category, and I'll drag it to the drill through field. Okay. Now, what I want to call attention to is a filter for bikes. So I want to go ahead and ensure that bikes is checked. Okay. So that's the first step we want to do. Now, since we did that, notice that automatically we have an arrow that shows at the top of the page. Let me just, if I take this out, if I remove this from the drill through pane, let's just take this out. If I remove this, okay, so our button is still there, but what I want to do is I'll just take this out, remove. Okay, so if notice that we just hit this page, if we drag this into the drill through, notice that it causes a button, the back button, to be visible. And what I want to call attention to is a filtration that's going to be showing just bikes. So I want to select bikes. Okay. Now, we want to add a card visual to the page, resize it so that it sits in an appropriate way. It sits to the right of this button. So I'll go to a card visual. That's a card visual there. I'll add a card visual to the page. And I want to resize the visual to be like that. Okay. And then I want to add product category field to the card. So I'll click, ensure the card is clicked, and I'll add product category. Now notice what it shows us. It shows us bikes, of course. Okay. But what we want to do now is we want to format it and turn the category label property off. Okay, so I'll select this. I'll go to format. I'll go to category label and turn it off. Okay, so what we are seeing here is just bikes. Okay, we're going somewhere here. Okay, so what we want to do now is want to further configure this. This time we want to go to effects. Okay, so we want to go to effects, background properties. So sometimes we can just come and search here. I'll say background properties, for example, and it will take us to the background properties. Well, let's see. Do we have anything here? All right. I'll just come and search. I can say background. Okay. All right. So we can see background here, and then we can turn the background properties off, for example, and for the effects backgrounds, we can change the color property to gray. So let's go to color, and let's just make it be a bit gray like that. Okay, because white on white is going to be, well, a bit difficult to be able to read. So that is just formatting. Now, that's a tip I've given you there. Sometimes drilling through to each of the specific effects can be difficult. That's why we have a search bar there that you can just go ahead and click the specific effect that you want. So that's very, very important. Now we want to add a table visual to the page. So I'll go ahead and select table, ensure that all of the other visuals are unselected. I'll select table, and it adds a table visual, which I want to use to fill up the remainder of the page. So I'll just fill it up like that. And now we have our table visual. So we want to add a number of things to the visual. Okay, so I'll go to product. I'll add subcategory to the table. I'll add color to the table. Color, I didn't check that. Okay, I'll add sales quantity. I'll add sum of sales. I'll add profit margin. Okay. So what that means is, of course, if we want to drill through, we can come and, of course, specify. The drill through takes us to this page. Now, but we are not done yet. We can actually come and format, create a conditional formatting that's going to allow us to draw further attention to this page. Okay, so we want to enhance the drill through page with some form of conditional formatting. Okay, so if we complete the lab, our table should look like this. Of course, you are going to agree with me that this is a lot more intuitive. We want to apply some conditional formatting here, such that if somebody drills to this page, they'll be able to, at a glance, see that we've got a positive profit margin for mountain bikes that are black and silver. We've got a negative profit margin for road bikes that are black and red and yellow. Of course, giving us, we've got a negative profit margin again for touring bikes that are blue and yellow. So at a glance, we can quickly see how profitable each of these product subcategories have been. We can see at a glance the sales, the quantity, and of course, we can also see at a glance the profit margin. And that's exactly what we want to do. I'll pause for a minute. If you've got a question, please. It's important you ask, because we are going to go into things that are, well, slightly a bit, I won't call it complicated, a bit different from what we've been doing up to this point. So if you've got a question, feel very, very free to ask your question. All right. So if you've got a question, go ahead and ask. Any question? Okay, so want to ensure that the table visual is selected. Okay, and within the visualization pane here, we want to select the down arrow on the profit margin. So I'll click on the down arrow on the profit margin. There's a down arrow there. So I'll click it, and then I'll select conditional formatting, and then I'll select icons. I'll take that again. I'll ensure that the table visual is selected. I'll click on the down arrow for conditional format for profit margin, select conditional formatting, select icons. And I'm going to click on the icons. And this is the logic that we are going to use to specify uh, uh, conditional formatting. Okay. Okay. So in
Please,
yes,
can
go ahead.
you redo that part again?
All right, I'll cancel
The
it. All right. You want
thanks.
to ensure that the table for which you want to apply conditional formatting is selected. I'll select it. I want to specify the conditional formatting for profit margin. Now, what I want to do is this. I want to ensure that the profit margin has icons indicating profitability or non-profitability. What I'm trying to do is I want to ensure that if we are profitable, there should be a green circle next to profit margin. If we are not profitable, there should be a red diamond next to it. That's exactly what we want to do. So it's good you understand where we are going, and then I'm going to show you how we are going there. So what that means is we want to ensure the table is selected, and since the particular conditional formatting we want to apply is going to be against this column, we want to come to the columns well in the visualization pane. We want to click on the down arrow next to profit margin. We want to select conditional formatting, and then we want to click on icons. A bit clearer now?
Yes,
Okay,
thank
thank you
you.
very much for that confirmation. Okay, so we've selected that, and what we want to do now is we want to use icons. So in the icons profit margin window, which is this window, in the icons layout drop down list, which is this drop down list, we want to select right of data. Now, what that means is we want these icons here with these icon styles to be on the right of the data. We could have put it on the left of the data. We could have just said only the icons should be visible, but we want to make sure that we have the value of the profit margin, and then we want the icon to the right of it. That's why we are doing that. So I'll go ahead and click on right of data. Okay. Now, I want to ensure that this middle value is not there. I want to just have two values. That is either we are profitable or we are not profitable. Okay, there's nothing like being in between being profitable and non-profitable. So I want to delete the middle value. I just delete it there. So we now see here that we have a value of red or a value of green. Red being shown by a diamond sign, green being shown by a circle. Okay, so we want to configure the first rule, which is the red diamond, as follows. Now, in the second control, this is control 1, control 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the second control, I want to remove this value, which is 0. In the third control, I want to select number. Okay. In the fifth control, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want to put 0. And in the sixth control, I want to put number. Okay. So I want to configure the second rule, which is the green circle, okay, as follows. In the second control, I want to enter 0. In the fifth control, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to remove this. And then in the sixth control, I want to enter number. Okay. Okay. Let's click OK and see what happens. All right. Not exactly what I was expecting. Let's go again and do it. I think I must have made a mistake somewhere.
Sorry.
Yes.
When we're doing the stuff, everything is number except one is percentage. And also I'm wondering, so
Okay.
that means everything, what we're looking at it, everything greater than 0 is a profit.
Well, if it is greater than 0, it should be a profit. If it is less than 0, now in this case, we are taking profit as a number. Because
Okay.
profit being a percentage should actually be a number between 0 and 1. If we
Okay.
take it to percentage, if it's 0.1, 10%, 0.2, 20%, and all of that. So I'm going to do it again. Okay. I just
Okay, sorry, I have a question, sir.
Yes, please.
Since there's a question, I'll just put these in case there's a way you can show us, since you are repeating the process.
I'm going to repeat.
So let's say we have something that is an intermediary between a profit and
A loss.
a positive profit and a loss. Exactly. So
Okay.
is there a way we could put maybe green, yellow, and red?
Actually, that was the default. Let me show you again. See, if we come to profit and
Yeah.
go to conditional formatting icons, we see here that we've got the rules. Let me just go ahead and put on right of data. We have the rules. If value is greater than or equal to 0% and less than 33%, then red. If value is greater than or equal to 33% and greater than 67%, then amber. If
Oh,
value,
nice.
so that's it.
Oh,
Now,
cool.
for
I've seen
this,
it. Thank you.
yes, for this specific case, we just wanted to remove the middle value. That's why I removed it. But in reality, you can actually still include it.
Sorry, a follow-up question.
Okay.
Do you have to remove it if there is no value that corresponds to that rule, right? Isn't it supposed to automatically, by default, remove the amber, for instance?
Well, technically, yes, but we just want to keep our reports simple. Now, in a pure corporate environment, nobody's interested in the middle ground. People usually want to know, hey, are you profitable or not? It's like saying having a midpoint between pass or fail. Okay. So, for the purposes of being concise in our reporting, we want to either say our product performed well or our product did not perform well. We
Okay.
don't want to consider any middle ground. But of course, depending on what you're trying to convey in your report, that your case could be different.
Exactly. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I wanted to say it's not all of us that work in the. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Cool. Well
So
done.
first control, yeah. In the second control, um, we remove the value. Yeah, that's what we did. I removed the value. Okay. In the third control, I want to select number. In the fifth control, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want to put 0. And then in the sixth control, I want to put percentage. Sorry, number, not percent.
Number.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what happens there. Okay. And that is what we should have. We should have mean, number, less than or equal to 0 number. Okay. Now, in the second control here, we want to go ahead and
0.
put 0. In the third control, we want to put number.
Okay, that was where we missed it because we left
Yeah.
it at percent.
Okay. In the uh, in the fifth control, we
Max.
want to remove the value, and then in the
Number.
sixth control, we want to put number.
Mhm.
Okay. So if we did this right, yeah, and that's what it gives us now. Okay. So it's going to make more sense as we move on. When we do the drill down, it's going to land us on this page. Okay. And the essence of the report, and I'm going to say this, in your various corporate environments, all of the guys that collect the big dollars and pounds, they don't care about reading details. They just want to see these things at a glance. And that's because, of course, they have a lot of things they do. So they just want you to convey whatever message you're trying to convey as quickly and as painlessly as possible. And that is why you earn so much as a report writer. You earn all of the dollars. That's why they pay you so much to be able to do all of this. Okay. All right. So that's what our profit margin now looks like. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to configure the background color conditional formatting. Okay. So what do we do? In the background color window, in the format style drop-down list, we want to go ahead and do that. So we want to now go to conditional formatting. Okay. So we'll go to color. Okay. I'll go to conditional formatting. And of course, background color. Now, take note. If you are going to follow the instruction doesn't explicitly tell you this after it has pointed it out the first time. So that's just basically, that's the first few steps I did is not clearly stated in the instruction for the labs. So take note of that. Okay. So what do we want to do here? In the background color window, that's it there. In the format style drop-down list, of course, we want to select field values. There. Okay. In the what field should we base this on drop-down list? Okay. We want to select product formatting background color. So come here, product formatting background color format. Okay. And then we click on okay. So you begin to see now that what we have here is supposed to look like this, but there's a little problem which we will aim to solve. Sorry, I am pushing you a bit hard. Now, you see that this and this is not exactly the same. Who can tell us what's the difference? What's the difference?
Please, can you go back as in flip them?
Okay, I'll go back. Let me bring the endpoint. So this, let me keep them side by side. This and this, not exactly the same. What's the difference? Anyone?
It's
Bright
black,
colors.
silver, black,
Red. Yeah,
and
black,
the other
silver,
one is
black,
black, silver,
red,
red.
red, yeah.
No, I don't think that's the difference. The difference is in the headings. One is
Okay.
sum of quantity, and the other one is quantity sales.
I
Quantity.
still
Well,
think the
no.
colors too.
I
I
think
still
it's the
think the colors.
color.
Colors also, yes. That's
Okay.
a switch between black and red.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, I see that now.
Okay. Okay. That's true, but the main thing is you just see there's a black here, but you don't know what's written against it. That's what I wanted to
Oh,
point out.
Okay.
You don't know, you know it's black, but you don't see that stuff. That means our text color and the
And
background
the
color is the
background
same.
color is the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, these are some of the little things in your report you want to look out for. Okay. Yeah, it's all black there. Now, see, for those of you that have been in very interesting corporate environments, some people just don't like your work, so you have to give them no excuse to fault what you are doing.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
yeah.
Okay, all
So
the this thing, sorry, all the font colors are black on the one we just did. This one,
exactly. So we want to
okay.
try to adjust that. Okay. All right. So let's see how we'll do that, and we will soon be done. Sorry, for taking you farther than we should. Okay, so we've done that. Now we want to go ahead and do the same thing for font color. Okay, so we'll do the same formatting for font color. So I'll come to color, I'll come to conditional formatting, and then I'll do font color. Okay, that's how we are going to do it. Okay, okay. Do we follow? Okay. So last time we did um for the background color. So what are we going to be doing now? We are going to be for formatting style. What would we do? We will choose what?
Field,
Tell me.
um, field value.
Okay, we choose field value. Okay. So what else will we choose?
What field should we base this on?
What field should we base this on? We'll go to,
Product,
Hold on.
formatting, font color format.
Let's follow.
and then we'll click.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what happens? Is there any change?
Yeah.
Yes.
There is a change. Now, so what that means is we are now looking more like what we should be. So let me open that again and let's see. Aha, now, sorry, the computer now sometimes has a mind of its own. Okay, so now if we look, it's a bit more similar to, no. It's a bit more similar to what we want. So if I take this down, of course, we can see that black is now clear. And that's basically how powerful conditional formatting can be. Okay. All right. Who didn't understand? Who didn't understand? All right. The next thing I want you to do is to add bookmarks. I'm not going to show you how to do that. I warn you, you will have some difficulties doing this. Now, this is what I want you to do because we are almost at the 1 hour mark. I want you to configure a page like this. The instructions are there. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. So I want you to take this back and configure your drill through page such that if you click on bar chart and column chart, this visual should change. Clue, it is in your instructions. All right. Any question? Any question? All right. If there is no question, again, it's been a very interesting class. Thank you very much for your time. And we will continue in the next class. I'm going to go offline now.